Welcome. Welcome everyone to the American Finance Association annual meeting and presidential address. My name is Jim Schulheim, and I assumed the position of Executive Secretary and Treasurer of the AFA last July. I wish to thank my predecessors, Dwayne Sepe and David Pyle, for helping me understand and administer the business of the AFA and the Journal of Finance. Next, I'd like to announce the results of the 2014 election. President, Luigi Zingales. President-elect and 2015 Program Chair, Patrick Bolton. Vice President Campbell Harvey. The directors are Jessica Wachter, Jeff Wurgler, and Andrew Metrick. Many thanks go to our outgoing board members for their service. They are Lasse Pedersen, Paula Sepaniza, and Raman Uppal. And I'd also like to thank the nominating committee and all the candidates who ran for office last year. The financial situation of the AFA is very good. Net income for 2012-2013 is in excess of $900,000. Although this is down by 46% from the previous fiscal year, the reduction is almost entirely due to the change in unrealized capital gains. As of September 30th, our total assets were over $13 million, and that's up 7% from the previous fiscal year. Regarding our membership numbers, institutional membership continues to decline as it has for the last several years. Unfortunately, individual membership declined by 14% in 2013 after increasing in 2012. So please invite all your colleagues to join the association so that our numbers can increase once again in 2014. Regarding our membership, regarding the business of the Journal of Finance, I'd like to share a few things with you. Particularly, this is probably not too surprising, but this figure illustrates a trend that is of concern. And I thank Campbell Harvey for providing this information. The top curve shows the Journal of Finance printed copies, and the bottom curve shows the Review of Financial Studies printed copies, courtesy of Craig Holden. The dotted line shows a simple linear projection into the future after 2013. Clearly, with print on the way out, we are exploring ways to deliver the Journal of Finance in a totally digital format. Among several side effects to this change would be the financial ramifications. So the officers and the board of the AFA will be addressing this issue in 2014 as we try to stay ahead of these curves. Next year, the ASSA meets in Boston, January 3rd through 5th, and in 2016, the meetings will take place in San Francisco. So I now turn over the annual meeting to President Robert Stambaugh. Thank you.
Yeah, so the first thing I'd like to do is thank Jim for taking over what is a very tough job. A lot of ropes to learn, and very time-consuming job, and we really appreciate the commitment you've made to this, and appreciate the job you've done so far. And we thank Dwayne for his service. As you saw early in the year, Dwayne couldn't continue in the job, but we very much thank him for the time he did serve. I'd also like to thank Luigi Zingales, this year's program chair, for organizing an excellent program. He actually this year did sort of extra duty. We had a very special year, of course, with the Nobel Awards in finance, and Many of you today were at the luncheon honoring the Nobel recipients, and Luigi was heading a panel discussion there. Both he and Jim spent a lot of time getting that luncheon together at the last minute, and he'll have more to say about the program as well as the luncheon. I'd like to thank Marty Gruber once again for being our representative at NBER. Steve Buser has been the historian for a decade. Steve has decided he's going to step down, and he has really, this AFA history project was really non-existent before he took over 10 years ago, and he has just put in a prodigious amount of work over the years in building up a very nice library of videotapes, interviews with the sort of the giants in our profession, and we owe him a real debt of thanks. Unfortunately, Steve could not travel to the meetings this year, but I'd like to give him a round of applause in any event for his decade of service. Speaking of the videos, I'd also like to thank Cam Harvey. So many of you probably don't know this, but when Cam sort of stepped down as editor, he immediately volunteered, took over a job as sort of digital manager of the AFA, spearheading a number of digital initiatives. One of the things was indeed reprocessing all the videos to optimize their resolution and uploading into a new YouTube AFA channel. And also, many of you know we launched an iPad JF app in June that Cam really spearheaded with Wiley to develop, which is a very cool thing. So, so of course now that Cam has been elected vice president, he can't escape. He's going to be involved in further efforts. You know, this whole digital initiative really becomes one with our sort of publishing effort. We have a contract coming up that we have to think about with Wiley and what are our options there. And Cam is also, along with Jim, well underway in exploring what our options are there. So with those thanks, I will turn the program over to Luigi, our program chair.
Thank you very much, Rob. First of all, there are still seats here, so if you want to come in and sit down there, there is an entire seat of rows of seats available. First of all, I want to thank all of you because really the hard work for organizing this program has been done mostly by the chairs of the various sessions. So we have 56 sessions. And the number of submission has been this year 1,628, 5% more than last year, which was a record year. So we keep attracting more and more papers, and of course this makes the job more and more difficult because the number of sessions remain the same, and so you have to become increasingly selective in choosing. So the result was 200 papers in 56 sessions. Now, besides sort of the 54 normal sessions, I added, as tradition of the last few years, 2 sessions. One, an AFA lecture that was delivered this year by David Leibson and was Optimal Institutions for Behavioral Investors. That was the title. And then there was another session put together by Amir Sufi, whose title was What Should Macroeconomists Learn from Finance? And since they have to learn a lot, I think that that's a very good, very interesting session. As Rob added or mentioned, we added at the last minute a special session to celebrate the Nobel Prize winners who were finance member of the Finance Association and also fellows of the Financial Association. So we decided to do it in spite of the fact that next year they will receive the normal treatment as all Nobel Prize in Economics. There will be sort of a lunch dedicated to them and organized by the American Economic Association. So we organized a lunch at the last minute, and Jim was fantastic in putting that together. It was not easy. There were some logistic issues, and not everybody received notice, in part because many are not registered as AFA members. So we send an AFA email to everybody, and many did not receive. So this is an invitation, as Jim said, to become a member so that you can receive updated emails. But the panel went very well, in spite of the fact that, unfortunately, at the last minute, Jean Fama had to cancel because had been hospitalized for a pneumonia that he got in Stockholm with the Nobel Prize. They give you apparently also pneumonia. The good news is he's doing better, and so this is the most important thing. But Ken French was kind enough to sort of participate and read a statement by Jean and try his best to sort of represent Jean's idea at the panel. And I think that was extremely interesting and nice. Finally, I would like to thank Erika Mori, who is my assistant, who really coordinated all the effort, and she sort of helped me deal with Conference Maker, who is the organizer, the software that organizes this, and I thank also John Rust for his help in that. With this, I think that I pass to Michael, no? Patrick, sorry.
Thank you very much, Luigi. I will keep it very brief. I first would like to thank Luigi for telling me how to set up the process for awarding the student travel grants. We received over 200 applications, and 118 student grants have been awarded. And on January 2nd, in the afternoon, we had a panel on the broad question of the future of finance as an academic field and the future of the finance industry. And the panel members were Doug Diamond, Andrea Eisfeld, Tony Whitehead, who unfortunately couldn't come. She was stuck in Rochester due to snowfall. Unfortunately, this happened to many of our members this year. And we also had Thomas Philippon, Monica Piazzesi, Annette Wissen-Jorgensen. And it was a fun occasion. I think the students, probably many of them are here, got a lot out of it. So it was a very nice occasion, certainly for me. Thank you.